Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Last week was a vacation, so I hope everybody enjoyed their Labor Day. But now it is back to work. So you want to go over system of equations. So let's look at some practice. Let me see if I could. Again, this is CK12 all size Schoology. You got practice. You got a bunch of different stuff you can use associated with it. Proficient skill level will tell you the different skill levels as you uh, increase it. So that's why I like it. Says it increased the difficulty. All right, so let's see. Linear systems by elimination. So there's three ways you can solve a system of equations. One's by graphing, one's by elimination, and one's by substitution. Okay. So in this question, it says solve the system. Right? Now, you could do this by hand. I'm going to show you how to do it by hand, then I'll show you how to use the multiple choice. So the key word is elimination. That means you want to eliminate one of the variables. Well, if you notice in this two equations, y is already eliminated. How do I know it's already eliminated? Because you see the opposite. So plus y minus y cancel each other out. So you just combine these equations. You get 5x, the y's cancel, equal 5. Then it's a one-step algebraic equation. Divide both sides by 5. We get x equal 1. So normally, when you're solving a system of equations, you take that 1 and you plug it back into one of the equations. But you don't have to, because the only multiple choice where x is 1 is D. So you don't have to even solve the second part of it, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So when x is 1, we just plug that in. So we're going to plug it into the second equation. So 3x plus y equal minus 5. Doesn't matter what equation you use. So if I plug a 1 in, we get 3 times 1 plus y equal minus 5. 3 times 1 is 3 plus y equal negative 5. Again, this is a one-step algebraic equation. Subtract 3 from both sides. The 3's cancel. Y equal negative 8. So x is 1. Y is minus 8. So remember, a system of equations is a point where two lines cross. So an ordered pair is a point. You have an x and y value. So the point that would solve this system of equations is 1 comma minus 8. So first we did it algebraically. Now, I'm not even going to, I'm going to show you how you use the calculator. So they gave you the multiple choice answers. So the one thing you know about multiple choice answers is that one of those answers, one of those multiple choice is the correct answer. So all you have to know is what x and y is and how to plug it in to your calculator. So here, to me, if you have the ebook and you practice this, you should be laughing all the way to the bank, because this is an easy problem then, because I don't have to do any work. So I showed you how to do it algebraically. Let me clear the screen. But watch this. My computer's a little slow here. Okay, so let me clear this out. Clear everything out so we can see it from scratch. Let me move it over. So is the first one, x is minus 1, y is minus 4. So what we're going to do is just use a calculator. We're going to store minus 1 as x. We're going to store minus 4 as y. Okay, in the ebook, I detail each how to do it. And just plug in the first equation. So 2x minus y. If that's correct, if it satisfies that first equation, I should get 10. Did I get 10?
No.
No. So we know it's not A. So we go to B. X is 2, Y is 6. So again, we're going to start all over. 2 store X, 6 store Y. And once you learn how to store variables, this becomes easy. 2x minus y. I should get 10. Did I get 10? I know it's not b. Go to the second one. 3 store x minus 6 store y. Plug in my first equation, 2x minus y. I didn't get 10. So now I already know it's D, but I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna put everything in D. Watch. So now D once, so let me clear everything out. 1 store X minus 8 store Y, and I'm gonna plug into the first equation, 2X minus Y. Did I get 10?
Yes.
Yes. So now it satisfies the first equation. But understand what a system of equation is. That same combination will satisfy both equations. So I need to plug in the second equation, 3x plus y, and I should get minus 5. Did I get minus 5?
Yes.
Done. That's no algebra at all. That's no algebra at all. So this is why I continue to tell you, like, listen, take time, especially for the harder concepts, um, to go use the calculator. Okay. So we got D. Solve the following equations, solve the following system of equations by elimination. But again, it's already getting rid of Y. So I'm going to come. How do I know they're already getting rid of Y? Look, this is why you got to know the opposites. The opposite of 3Y is minus 3Y. The opposite of 6x is minus 6x. The opposite of minus 3y is positive 3y. You got to know the opposites. That's how you eliminate one of the variables. Okay, so here, y is already being, you already have opposites. They already cancel each other. What's 3x plus x?
It's 4x.
4x. The y is canceled. What's 5 plus 7?
12.
12. In order to solve for x, what do I need to do?
Divide by
Divide by
4.
what? Divide by 4.
4.
So we know x is equal to 3. Okay. Now that we got x is equal to 3, we plug that into one of the equations. Now I'm going to plug it to the first ones because my y is positive already. So 3
Mhm.
plus y equal 5. Subtract 3 from both sides.
Mhm.
Y equal 2. So the solution that will satisfy this equation is parentheses. Remember, every ordered pair must look like this.
It's 3, 2. 3, comma 2.
So 3, comma 2. Okay, so every ordered pair, solution of a system of equations, an ordered pair must have an x and a y. And if they ask you for x, then you just put an x. If they ask you for y, you just put y. So let's check it. What I say, 3, 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Check it. And this is practice on Schoology. Now let's see if we can find another one. Now this one, again, they already canceling, so I'm just going to just uh 11y is 11, so 1. Oops, 11y is 1. I'm sorry. Y is y is 1, not x. Look how fast I can do those in my head. You understand? So this is where, you got different types of problems. This is where you can practice. So here we practice with s- um um CK12. Let's see if I can find, where are you? All right. Again, all of this practice is in Schoology. So this is a system of equations. Here go practice. If I want to go backwards and I want to practice with Khan Academy, I got practice with Khan Academy. Okay, so there's online practice with Khan Academy. And then when you're finished, when you have it down, you come back into Schoology and come under practice tests and additional practice problems, and then I'll give you, it goes system of equations right here, GED type questions to help prepare you for the type of questions you'll receive in the GED. So again, the purpose or the first way you should try to solve a system of equations is by elimination. Okay, there's other two ways, substitution and graphing. You hardly never see graphing on the GED. But if you do, they give you a graph. The the solution is this where the two lines cross, the X and the Y. Okay. What's next? So we talked about system of equations. I want you to practice. If you have any problems, let me know. But again, I have a bunch of practice, CK12, Khan Academy, and I made my own assessment for system of equations. Okay. What's next? What's next? What else you got for me this evening?
Could you run through absolute value?
Absolute value. Okay. So, all right. So I'm gonna do two things. First of all, I'm gonna explain what absolute value is. Well, first of all, let me ask you this. Can anybody tell me what absolute value is? Can anybody tell me what absolute value is? Okay, so that's why most people can't do absolute value problem. Distance away from zero. That is absolute value. Let me put that in there. Absolute value. So what happens a lot of times, what happens is when you're in class, they're just showing you how to do it, computation. But if you don't know the definition, this is why people have issues. It's the distance away from zero. So for example, let me draw a number line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the positive side. This is the negative side. So this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Of course, this is 0, right? I'm going to change my color. Let's go to black. So if I wanted to find the absolute value of -5, how far away is -5 from 0? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the absolute value of -5 is 5. Okay. Well, what's the absolute value of 5? Same thing. Distance away from 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the computation part. This is the part most people with their students, but you have to understand
Just for
the number, right?
you,
But that's
you froze.
say
You
that again.
froze. Yeah, froze.
I was what's the last part? What's the last thing you heard?
5.
So no matter what the sign is inside the absolute value bars, it's just to return the number. So, but guess what? They're not going to give you a problem like that. What they're going to say is something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the distance between the two? What's the distance between -3 and 5? What is the distance between -3 and 5? So if I had A, B, C, D, 2, -2, 8, -8. So if I said, what is the distance between -3 and 5, what would you say?
8.
You said 8. Anybody else? And this is one of the most missed questions. What is the distance between -3 and 5? Can anybody tell me? I heard 8.
-8.
I heard somebody just texted me in the chat -8. I heard somebody say -8.
It's 8.
I heard somebody say 8 again. Any other answers? No no -2s. So the distance between the two numbers, all you're doing is counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That easy. It's not 2, it's not -2. The distance between two numbers can never be negative. So if they ask you the distance between two numbers, you already know it can't be B and it can't be D. So at least if you guess, you got 2 or 8. At least you got a 50-50 chance. But they ask you the distance between two numbers, the answer cannot be negative. Guess what? They're not going to give you those answers because that seems too easy, doesn't it? They're
Yep.
not even going to give it to you that way. They're going to do this. Let me show you.
Hmm.
I don't know. So when you see those absolute value bars, they like parentheses. Do what's in those absolute value bars first. So what is 5 minus 3?
5 minus 3 is 2.
2. So the absolute value of 2 is what?
It's negative 2. If it's 2, you say it's 2, right?
What's the absolute value of 2?
It's 2.
2. Okay, what's minus 5 plus 3?
Minus 5 plus 3
Mm-hmm.
is negative 2.
Negative 2. What's the absolute value of negative 2?
Negative 2.
What's the
2. It's
absolute
2.
2?
It's 2. It's 2. Don't it's 2.
What's minus 3 minus 5?
Okay. Minus 3 minus 5 is negative 8.
Negative 8. What's the absolute value of negative 8?
8.
8. Ding, 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 ding. Got our answer. So we counted. We knew the answer was 8. But in the multiple choice, they gave you options that contain the absolute value. They are
Mm-hmm.
famous for doing that. You might as well be ready for it. Okay. Because they're going to give you distance between two numbers. Out of every 3 exams on the GED, 2 of them have distance between two numbers. You have to be ready. Okay. So if you go under Schoology, under the first 5, you'll see practice problems like that. So if you go into Schoology under the first 5, I call them the first 5 because those are the problems you cannot use your calculator for. But those are the ones you have to get right because you want to go into that test in a positive, with a positive outlook. If you get those first 5 problems right, feeling real good about yourself. If you get all 5 of those problems wrong, now you're nervous. Now you're saying, "Oh my God, I can't even answer the easy questions." And that's what happens. So that's one of the reasons why when people say, "Oh, don't worry about the first 5," I think that's the worst advice anybody could give anybody taking the GED. I really do. Because you want to go in confident. You want to build your self-esteem. You want to be rising. So you get those, you want to get 3, 4, 5 out of 5 on those first 5. So you're feeling good about yourself. Then go into the rest of the GED exam. Any other questions? So we talked about system of equations. We talked about absolute value. We talked about the distance between two numbers on a number line. Mr. Tenzi, I thought you asked about absolute value. This is how they use or question you with absolute value on the GED exam. So more than likely, you will get the distance between two numbers on a number line. Okay. What's next? What's next? What's the next question you got for?
Change your rate.
Huh?
Rate change. That's what not, I mean, on from a graph.
Rate change
Yeah.
from a graph?
Yeah.
Let me go find Schoology again. Where did I put you? I don't know. I didn't close you down, did I? See if I got a rate problem. Rate problem. And again, most people, oh my God, the rate of change. What is that? I don't know how to do it. It's a slope problem. That's all the rate of change is a slope problem. That's it.
So we
See,
taking 2 points.
let's see. He did a lot of these. I don't want to do all of them. Let's do that. So this is comparing different sources, right? But it's still rate change. So Mr. Tinsley, how do you know? Like, I don't understand. What do you mean? Why is you talking about rate change and slope? Remember what slope is. It's a constant rate of change. That's all slope is. It's a constant rate of change. That means if I'm charging for candy bars, I'm charging $5 per candy bar. That's the rate of change. So here, let me get my coin here. I mean, get my pencil. Geometry. What's specifically about geometry? So I don't know, sent that. There, what's specifically about geometry? So here, we have an equation, we have a table, we have a ratio. Okay. You have to be prepared to find the slope no matter what they give you. So this is easy, number one. So let me increase the zoom first so everybody can see nice and clearly. What is the slope of option one? Oh, I can't even. Ugh. Okay. What is the slope of option one? Can anybody tell me the slope of option one? Nobody can tell me the slope of option one?
I'm on mute. It's 0.0002.
Okay. So listen, that's a little. So most of us here been here for a while. Okay. When you talk about slope, you talk about linear equations. First thing you should be thinking is y equal mx plus b, or ax plus by equals c. So in this case, this is our form of our linear equation, where m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. You should easily be able to see the slope. It doesn't matter if it's a decimal. It doesn't matter if it's a fraction. This is why we have to practice, practice, practice. Listen, I'm not going to give you a magic trick. You're not going to be able to put a book on your head and learn all the formulas and stuff by osmosis. You have to work at it. If you having problems with option one, identifying that slope, then you need to dig heavy into linear equations. The slope of option one is 0.0002. Okay. So remember, slope is a constant rate of change. So when they ask you for rate of change, they're just asking you for the slope. That's it. So the slope for option one is 0.002. Everybody understand that?
Okay.
Okay. Option two. What is the equation of the line for option two? How can I find the slope of option two in the y-intercept of option two? Does anybody know?
Oh, okay.
Then linear equations and coordinate plane, parallel lines, all linear equations. So how could I find the equation of the line using this table? Can anybody tell me?
When do you have to use 2 points?
Yes, you have to use 2 points.
Okay. Okay.
What 2 points do you want to use?
5 and 17.
Okay, and what else?
5 comma 17
And what else?
and 10 comma 24. You
So
could
you want
use
to,
any 2 points.
okay. So what is the formula
Okay.
to find the slope?
Uh, y1.
Nope.
Oh, find the slope. Y2 minus y1. Sorry.
Y2 minus Y1 over what?
X2 minus y. I mean x2 minus x1.
Okay. What is Y2?
Uh, x1 y1. You said x2
No,
is
no, I did not say
10.
X2. I did not
Oh,
say X2.
y2 is 24.
Look at your formula.
$24. Yeah,
24 minus what's
24.
Y1?
Okay. 17.
17. What's X2?
Okay. 10.
10. What's
And
x1?
minus 5. Yeah.
Okay, what's 24 minus 17?
24 minus 17 is 7.
7. What's 10 minus 5?
5.
5 going to 7 how many times?
One time.
How many left over?
2.
2. Keep the same denominator. What's 1/5 as a decimal?
1/5 is shoot. Wait a minute. I don't know. 0.2.
And what's 2/5 as a decimal?
Okay. Is 0.4.
Okay, if you notice, I did all that using mental math.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you should be able to do this problem
20,
first by
40.
hand.
It's
So
20,
the
40.
slope of option number 2 is 1.4. Okay, 1.4. $1.40. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Now, how do you find the y-intercept? Again, look how long this problem is taking to find the y-intercept. Again, this is how you have to be prepared. This is why you have to practice. When I'm
Yes.
talking about linear equations, if you
Mm-hmm.
go through Schoology and do the computation, the word problems, the comparison of two sources, it will get you ready for this exam. I can't listen. I can't tell you not to use other sources, not to use other resources. I'm not going to tell you that. But what I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
you is if you want to prepare for this exam, I done gave you every kind of way that you can, every type of problem that you can prepare for this exam.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
y equal mx plus b. I'm going to use this point now. Yeah,
You
I'll
could
use
use,
this point.
yeah.
Y is
And you gotta use the
17.
slope. Yeah.
My slope is $1.40. My
Mm-hmm.
x is 5 plus b. 17 equals 5 and 2 equals 7 plus b. I subtract 7 from both sides. I'm running out of room here. B is equal to 10.
Yes.
So my equation of this line, that's my slope. That's my y-intercept. Y
It's 5
equal
equals 120.
140x plus $10. So the constant, so what happens is, so that means to get a subscription, it's probably costing you $10. And then every time you download, stream or whatever it is, it costs you $1.40. Of course, we know that's streaming is not $1.40, but that's how you would do it though. That's how you would do this problem. Again, so let me decrease the zoom so we can see the whole problem. Now, that's a little bit too small.
Now that's
So,
$1.40.
so understand what this is saying. This is a constant.
$10.
That means when you start, your fee up front is going to be $20, but it's only going to cost you 0.002 for each stream. This one was $10
Mm-hmm.
as the fee, but $1.40 for each stream.
Mm-hmm.
Here, they're just saying, listen, you can download 20,000 streams for $50 a month. So again, we want price per stream. Price
Yeah.
per
We got
stream.
divided.
That means my price is going to be my numerator, 50, divided by price per. Per means division.
Mm-hmm.
Streams, 20,000.
Oh.
Cross out a zero. Again, mental math. I'm going to move
Mm-hmm.
over here. Equal 5 over 2,000. Oops, I wrote one too many zeros. 5 going to 1, 5 going to 24. 1 over 400. Now, convert that to decimal. What's 1 over 400? Anybody know?
That's like 0.0025.
Almost zero. You said 0.0025. How do we know? Because we know 1/4 is 0.25, but we divide
Mm-hmm.
by 400. So you move the
Mm-hmm.
decimal 2 places to the left. So here, each stream is going to cost you 0.0025.
Okay.
Here, each stream is going to cost you $1.40. Here, each stream is going to cost you 0.002. So that means, again, right? Okay, how do I make sense of that in real life? Okay, one,
That's one.
2, 3, 4.
That's 20.
That means 10,000 streams for $2. 1, 2, 3.
That's $2.50.
1,000 streams for $2.50. So this is how you make sense of linear equations.
So
They
we
could
need
give it to you as an equation. They could give it to you as a table. They could give it to you as a ratio. Which option is the better choice? The monthly cost in Y dollars for X songs is linear. John on average streams 10,000 songs a month. Based on this usage, which one would he get? So again, we know option 2 is not it, right?
No.
That ain't even close. But I just showed you. What option is the best. Because you know the price of each stream. How many streams are you going to get? So we know so again, process of elimination says we know 2 can't be it because we found a linear equation of all of them. But here you can look at that.
This cheaper.
1, 2, 3, 4. So that's
$2.
10,000 streams for $2. So this is going to cost you $22 a month. For 20,000 streams, this is going to cost you $50.
That's a lot.
That's a flat price. This was just crazy, whatever this was. This is $1.40 per stream. That was just crazy. So you multiply 10,000 times $1.40, be 10,000. You know that's not it. But again, option 1 is the best. You have to understand what you're looking at. You cannot jump into a problem. Understand, read the problem, identify your givens. Understand what they give you and say, even though this information was given in different ways, option 1 was an equation. You still can get the slope and the y-intercept. Option 2 was a table. We still can get the slope and the y-intercept. Number 3 was a ratio. We still can get the slope. Hold on, Mr. Tinsley, what happened to the y-intercept? It's 0. There is no upfront fee. What they're just saying is, for $50, you can do 20,000 streams. There is no fee. They're just giving you one flat price. Boom. Okay. But again, a rate of change is basically the slope. You got me?
Yes.
So if you got a specific problem that gave you issues, send it to me. Let me know. First, try to answer it the way I just said in terms of slope. Because rate of change is slope. So they're either going to give it to you as a table, an equation, or a graph. Got to be ready for all 3. Okay. My coworker just called out tomorrow. I got to teach her class, but that's okay. All right, what's next? Oh, geometry. What about geometry? What about geometry? Who was that? Daryl. What about geometry? What in geometry? Geometry, I mean, that could be area, it could be perimeter, it could be areas, it could be parallelograms. What about geometry? You still there, Daryl?
Yes, I'm still here. I was doing parallel lines and transversal.
That's not in the GED. Parallel equation of a parallel line will be, equation of a perpendicular line will be. So a transversal, I don't even want to get into. If you want to stay after class, I'll show you that. That's more trigonometry. So for your teacher to be going over that and you're preparing for the GED, they're misinformed. You hear me?
Yes.
Now, if you want the equation of a parallel line, let me see if I can find something real quick. Let me go here. Again, everything is right here. We're going to go linear equations.
Okay.
Parallel and perpendicular lines. And again, this is sometimes they give you one or the other. Sometimes they give you both. Okay, so that's why I put both. So let's just go in a preview part. What is a perpendicular line anyway? What are perpendicular lines anyway? Can anybody tell me what a perpendicular line is? So what's the difference between so let's start with the definition first. What is the definition of a parallel line? What's the definition of a perpendicular line? Can somebody tell me?
A parallel line is a exact same line that's in a parallel line are lines that are exactly the same distance apart, no matter how far they extend from.
You can see that. I'm gonna make it easy for you though.
Okay.
Lines that will never cross. Two lines with the same, let me capitalize it. Parallel lines are two lines that will never cross. Okay? What's a perpendicular line? Anybody know?
Oh, they intersect. I was on mute again. Okay.
No, not just they intersect. It's more than did they just intersect.
They come at a 90-degree angle.
So as you said, Daryl, two lines that will never cross will look like that.
Yes, I said that. Yes, two lines will
That's
never touch.
parallel.
Perpendicular
Parallel.
line, the two lines
They
when they cross will form a 90-degree angle.
Uh-huh.
Everybody understand that?
Yeah, I understand that.
So if you understand that parallel lines have the same slope, perpendicular lines have the inverse slope, the negative inverse. Okay. What do I mean by that? Okay. So if y equal 2x plus 3, y equal 2x minus 10. For this first equation, what is the slope?
Negative 2/5.
No. For the two equations I just
Oh,
made up.
right here. I'm sorry. 2.
2. For the second equation, what's the slope?
I can't see it. For the second equation, the slope is 2.
2. Because they have the same slope, these two lines are parallel.
Yeah.
Everybody understand that? Yes, no, maybe. Everybody understand that? Who does not understand? Let me ask that.
Yeah, I just didn't. Could you like when your service tripped out for me, so I ain't hit like the last part.
Okay, so y equal mx plus b, right? So we know the slope of the first equation is whatever's in front of that x. So the slope of this equation is 2. So y equal 2x plus 3, the slope is 2. The second equation, y equal 2x minus 10. Again, whatever's in front of that x. When you have slope-intercept form, that's the only time you can look what's in front of x. When you have slope-intercept form, y equal mx plus b. The slope of the second equation is also 2. Because they have the same slope, these two lines are parallel. Understand that?
Yes.
Daryl?
I'm here listening to you.
You got me?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So now, let's look at this problem. So now we talk about parallel lines have the same slope.
I had just sent you a message about what you deleted.
Perpendicular has the negative inverse. Okay. Mr. Tinsley, what? You sound like you're talking physics. Oh my God. Negative inverse. In layman's terms, change the sign and flip. So make it real easy for you. Change the sign and flip the slope. So let's look at this first equation. Y equals minus 2/5 x minus 2. Can somebody tell me for this equation, what is the slope?
Negative 2/5.
Negative 2/5. Does everybody understand that? What is the y-intercept of this equation?
-2.
Negative
-2.
2. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
So any line that is parallel to that first line is going to have a slope of what?
It's gonna be
Um,
the -2 over 5 by the
-5.
same line.
-2/5. So that means any line. So Latasha, to answer your question, I just made that 3 up in that previous question. What we're looking for parallel and perpendicular, we're looking at the slopes. So in this equation here, the slope is -2/5. So any equation that starts with y equal -2/5 x is parallel to that line. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be -5. It could be +0.2. Doesn't matter. So any line that's parallel will have a slope of -2/5. Any line that is perpendicular, change the sign and flip. So if the slope is -2/5, what's the opposite of negative?
Positive.
Positive.
Positive. If we flip 2/5, what does that come to?
5/2.
5/2. So any slope of any perpendicular line will have the slope of 5/2, or this equation will start y equal 5/2 x, then something else. It doesn't matter what that y-intercept is. To find out if an equation is parallel or perpendicular, we learn about the slope. Okay. So if we have -2/5, we already said the slope is -2/5. The slope of the perpendicular is 5/2. Well, what's the slope of this second equation?
The slope. 5/2.
5/2. So that means
that's perpendicular.
These two lines are perpendicular.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to ask you on the GED exam. They're either going to ask you, are these lines parallel or perpendicular, or the equation of a line that is perpendicular, or the equation of a line that is parallel. So let's find a question like that. Let's see. Let's find an equation like that. Here we go right here. Okay. Let's look at this equation right here. Let's look at this problem right here. Find the equation of the line passing through the given point in parallel to the given equation. Write your answer in slope-intercept form. Well, I don't know C, or this third one is not slope-intercept form, so I don't know if that's the right answer or not, but we'll see. Okay, so we want parallel. So identify your givens. What do we know about parallel lines?
They are the same.
They are
the same slope.
Same slope. They are not the same.
Same slope.
They're not the same line. They have the same slope.
Same slope that never touched.
Two lines that will never cross. But what's important for the GED is that you understand that parallel lines have the same slope.
Same slope.
They gave us a point, x comma y. Everybody understand that? They gave us an equation. Is this standard form or slope-intercept form?
That's slope-intercept form.
How do you know it's slope-intercept form? When you see slope-intercept form, what does the equation need to start with?
Y
equal. Does this formula start with y equal?
Oh, no, it's standard.
No,
it's standard. Standard form.
Okay.
Standard form is ax plus by equals c. So 3x plus y equal -12. Again, this takes practice. Doesn't take a whole lot of practice. My a is 3. My b is, when you don't see a number, it's what?
1.
It's 1.
1. My c is -12. So my a is 3. My b is 1. My c is -12. In order to find the slope, I take the opposite of a and put it over b. If a is 3, what's the opposite of a?
-3.
-3 over 1. What's -3 over 1 equal to?
That's -3.
So the slope of this line is -3. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So that means we are looking for an equation that has the same slope. So if I look at A, I'm going to call this, matter of fact, let me change the color to black. I'm going to call this A, call this B, call this C, call this D. What is the slope of A?
Y
That's
y
3x. The slope
3x plus 5.
What is the
yeah,
slope of A?
it's
Listen to
3.
what I'm asking. 3.
3.
Yes.
3. Y
Right.
equal mx plus b. M is your
Right.
slope. Whatever's in front of, if it
Right.
starts with y equal, whatever's in front of that x is your slope. So
Right.
can your answer, if we're looking for a slope is -3, can it be A?
No.
No,
No. What's the
it's
slope of
B.
what's the slope of B?
One
It's
third. 1
One
1/3.
over
third.
third.
Can it be
X.
B?
Yes.
No.
No.
No, it's
What?
not.
It can.
Because parallel lines have the same slope,
Same slope.
not perpendicular. This question is asking about parallel.
Oh, and that's a positive. That's a positive fraction too.
It's 1/3.
Yeah,
-3
yeah.
is not one
And
third,
then and D is a negative one.
and D is -1/3. So
Yeah.
by
So that
process of elimination, our answer is what?
It's that one. 2. I mean 1, 2, 3.
C.
Yes.
That's it. Or
Because you could have negative
you
1
could have
over
just looked
3.
at it.
Yeah.
They're the
Negative 1
same.
over
They got the
3.
same slope.
Yeah.
-3/1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's find one with perpendicular. Let's try one with perpendicular. Again, these problems may not be easy for you, but what I'm
No,
telling you is
you gotta
go
think.
through the video, go step by step, say it out loud, write the problem down, then do it again and do it again until you understand it. You should be hearing me in your head. Identify your givens. We need a perpendicular line. So we know the slope is the negative inverse. Negative inverse. We know we have a point. That's my x and my y. And we have an equation. What is the slope of this equation?
Y equals is 5.
What is the slope of this equation?
It's 5.
What is the slope of this equation?
Is y equals negative 5x plus 8?
What is the slope of this equation?
Okay. 5.
What is the slope of this equation? And this is what I mean by attention to detail. Y equal -5x plus 8. Y equal mx plus b. What is in front of the x?
-5.
Not 5. What did you say?
I said -5. I didn't say
Okay,
5. I
now,
said negative the whole time.
when you go over this video, I want you to see
Okay.
that you said 5.
I said 5 first because you didn't hear me when I said -5 the first time. But okay.
Maybe I didn't hear you. Did
You
anybody hear?
did.
Did anybody else hear
I said
-5?
-5. I said it.
I don't know. So
I
anyway,
said y equals -5x plus 8. That's
no,
what I
no,
said
right,
that
no,
time.
no. That's the
But
equation.
right. The
Right. You
slope
said y
is
equal -5x plus 8.
-5.
I asked for the slope. So the slope
Right.
is -5.
-5.
So now, the problem is that this is the problem that people have. -5 is the same as -5/1. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
So if I need to find the slope of the perpendicular, I need to change the sign and flip. So this is negative. That means my perpendicular is going to have what sign?
It's gonna have one. It's gonna be
What's,
1/5.
no. Listen, what sign
Oh,
is it going to have?
negative.
Positive.
It's,
Now
it's
we
gonna
got
be
to
a
flip it.
positive sign. Right.
Now it's not +5. Listen. Change the sign and flip. So because it's negative, it's going to become positive. Now we flip the 5/1. 5/1 becomes what?
1/5. It's gonna come
1 over 5.
5.
So the slope of the perpendicular is 1/5. So we go through our progressions here. A, B, C, or D. A, B, C, D. What is the slope of A?
The slope of A is -5.
-5. What's the slope of B?
-1/5.
What's the slope of C?
1/5.
1/5. So we found our answer. Ding, ding, ding.
There you
Because we're looking
go.
for the
Yeah.
perpendicular.
The opposite.
Not the opposite, the negative
The
inverse.
inverse. Yes, the negative.
Change the sign and flip. So real quick, watch this. This is what I'm gonna do. And I think this is in my book. I'm gonna do something real quick.
Oh no.
M equal negative 2/3.
Okay.
What's the slope of a line that's parallel? If the
Negative
slope,
2/3.
negative 2/3. What's the slope of a line that's perpendicular?
We using the same one?
Same one.
3/2.
3/2. I have a slope of 7/5. What's the slope of any line that's parallel?
7/5.
What's the slope of any line that's perpendicular?
Negative 5/7.
Negative 5/7. Does everybody understand that? So on the GED, since it's multiple choice, if you know that parallel lines have the same slope, perpendicular lines have the negative inverse, right away you should be able to eliminate. Like I could see this is -5. So I know right away my slope is going to be positive, right? So I know it's not A, I know it's not B. Right away. Because they're asking about the perpendicular. Since I know my slope is -5, I know my answer has to be positive. So I know it can't be A, I know it can't be B. So right away, I eliminate two choices. I know that -5, if I flip it, is positive 1/5. So even though this took us 3 to 4 minutes, if you practice and understand the computation of this problem, when you get this problem, a problem like this, and they give you multiple choice, it should be a 30-second to a minute problem. Like literally. Like literally. Let's try one more. Okay. Watch this. I'm going to do it for you. Watch this. Perpendicular. I know I need the negative inverse. That's my X. That's my Y. This is in standard form. So to find the slope, I'm going to take the opposite of A, which is -1, which is 1. Put it over B. So I know my slope is 1/2. The slope of the perpendicular is -2/1, which is -2. So I'm looking for the equation that has a slope of -2. I'm done.
There you go.
That's where you should get to with these problems like this. You should be able to see right away, is it slope-intercept form? Is it standard form? Can I find a slope from both forms? Are they asking about a parallel line or they asking me about a perpendicular line? Parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines is the negative inverse. So this is why you practice. I don't care if you do the same assessment over and over, but this is what I don't want you to do. I don't want you taking this quiz and saying, oh, I remember this answer. This was -2x over -7. That's not what I want you to do. I want you to go, each time you do it, do the work.
Yeah.
Do the work. Step by step. You see it, you write it, hear it, and then you feel it. Because guess why? So this is a similar exercise that I just went over. So if the slope is 4/7, slope of any parallel line, that means y equal 4/7x minus 5. Y equal 4/7x plus 10. Y equal 4/7x. It doesn't matter. These are all parallel. So any line that is parallel will have a slope of 4/7. Any line that is perpendicular, change the sign, flip, -7/4. So go through these practice problems. Listen, this test is not going to be easy. What I hope to do is give you the types of problems and enough problems to where you practice. When you get to this test, most people who go through my ebook and take the GED exam finish 30 to 40 minutes early and been averaging a score of 156. Okay? Can I guarantee you're going to pass? If you go through the ebook and go through Schoology and take your practice and you scoring over 60, I can almost guarantee you pass. I can almost guarantee it. Well, Mr. Tinsley, how can you guarantee that I'm going to pass? Since 2015, everybody that's taken the exam has passed. I'm 100%. Okay. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm not saying that to, oh my God, look at Mr. No, what I'm saying is I'm giving you all the tools you need to pass this exam. What I need from you is the hard work. What I need from you is to go through that ebook for 2 weeks to understand how to use that calculator. What I need from you is practicing math every single day, even if it's for 15, 20 minutes. You know what? Let me go in here and do square roots, cube roots. Let me go in here and do the first 5. And then you know what? I only got 20 minutes a day, so that's what I'm going to do today. Okay, I'm going to do algebraic expressions tomorrow or whatever order you feel like you are comfortable with. You should be practicing math every single day. Khan Academy, CK12, the assessments I made in Schoology. You got enough practice. You don't have to go anywhere else. Now, Darryl, if you want to stay on afterwards, I can give you information about transversals and all that kind of stuff. That is not on your GED exam.
Okay.
For college entrance, or the task, they do have. But for the GED, you will not have that on your exam.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So, any questions before we leave? Stay on, and I'll explain it to you. Any questions before we leave?
No.
Okay. So everyone have a good night. I will post the video. What happened was, let me stop the recording real quick. Hold on. Let me pause. Let me stop sharing and let me pause it. Hold on for 1 second.